Thank you so much. And we are at the end of this evening, ladies and gentlemen. पर एक बहुत ही स्पेशल इंसान का स्पीच बाकी है, तो मैं डॉक्टर आनंद देशपांडे सर से ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा टू एड्रेस द ऑडियंस.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm between you and dinner, so I'm going to be very brief. But all of you have been here all afternoon, evening, and I think you should carry something back. So I want to share some ideas with you that you might find useful. So, इस हफ्ते में गुरु पूर्णिमा हुई है, and a lot of people have talked about mentors and what mentors do and all of that. And many of you have called me a mentor as well. So I'm very grateful and happy to be a mentor like this. But I wanted to mention that mentor relationship is not a one-way relationship. It's a two-way relationship. So when somebody is a mentor, the mentor also learns from that relationship. And if that doesn't happen, then you are not a good mentor-mentee relationship. So it is very important to, So it's very important to have that two-way relationship when you are looking at mentors. Now, I have shared this in a few places, but some of you may not have heard this. So I'm going to share that I have observed that there are 4 kinds of mentors, all right? And you have to have some of all kinds of mentors in your category. So mentor, you can't just have one mentor, and that's not enough. So what are these 4 kinds of mentors that I'm going to share with you? And I'm going to use some analogies and stories to make that possible. So one kind of mentor is the Dronacharya Eklavya relationship. So in this relationship, what happens is that Eklavya admired Dronacharya. He was following his guidance in some sense. And for Eklavya, Dronacharya was the guru. But Dronacharya did not know that Eklavya was his shishya. Once he found out the consequences were not good, but by and large, let's keep it where he didn't know who Eklavya was, okay? So when you have these kinds of relationships, today we can do this very easily. We have lots of famous people, including Elon Musk to whoever you want. Each one of them are tweeting all the time. So you can listen to everyone and make them your Dronacharya mentor. So that's pretty easy to do. And each one of you should create a list of people you like to follow because you like their ideas. You don't have to take everything from them, but anything you find interesting, you should be able to go look it up and do that. So each one of you in your areas should have a dynamic list of Dronacharya mentors, which you should keep with you. So that's the first kind of mentor. The second kind of mentor that I want to mention is I want to give this analogy that आपल्या सगळ्यांच्या घरी, everyone's house, we have a panchayat, देवाची पंचायत असते. So in that we have one Lakshmi, one Ganpati, one Shankar, and then various other things. Why do we have many of these? Because for different kinds of things we want to invoke different gurus or different gods, right? So if you want knowledge, then you go to Saraswati. Every puja must start with Ganpati. Lakshmi is for something else, Shiva is for something else. So every one of these have a purpose that they have for us, correct? So like this, each one of you should keep half a dozen mentors who are your mentors for, these kinds of things. So whatever general things you need. And each one needs to have a special focus as to why they are your mentor. So if you go to knowledge thing, you go to Ganpati. So like that, if you have someone who is helping you with financial matters, somebody who is helping you with technical matters, whatever else. So you have different kinds of mentors who mentor you. Now, why do you need to do puja regularly? Because unless you keep them informed about what you need, they will not be able to help you. So if you come to me and say, please mentor me, I say, I don't know what your context is. I have no idea what I can do for you. So it's not very useful. But if someone is a regular context that you have once a month, you walk with them for a couple of hours, you discuss things. And I said mentor-mentee relationship is a two-way relationship. It's not a one-way relationship. So you don't have to have someone who is only supposed to give you advice. You are supposed to also give them advice. So 2 of you can be buddies and say we are mentors of each other and we walk together once a month and we keep ourselves updated. So when I need help, I can go to them. So that's the second kind of mentor. Okay. The third mentor that I'm going to share with you is that, okay, you have certain situations when things are really bad and you need to bring a specialist to that game. So the example of someone who is the specialist into the game, I'm going to give you an example of Narsimha. So Narsimha was a special Vishnu, okay? He showed up at the right place at the right time with the right ammunition and the right this and that and everything else. Why did he show up? Because Prahlad was Vishnu's bhakt. So he did that thing. Vishnu was in his regular thing. So he had regular contacts. I am in trouble. Please help me. But I need a guy with special skills. Anybody can't just do this job. So Narsimha showed up. So when you have those tricky problems that you need to solve and you don't know how to go about them, then your mentors will help you get to the right mentor when you need one. So that is the idea of having these mentors who are on a regular mentorship basis. So when I have had this kind of situation where I need somebody who is going to give me special advice on some particular problem that I'm stuck with, then I say, okay, in my list of common mentors, they say, okay, do you know someone who can help me in that? And they come in and then they get to that point. So that's the other kind of mentor. That's the third one. And the last one, of course, is if you want to do the Dharma Yuddha, then you have to go to Krishna. There is no other person who can do this. But again, Krishna had many choices. He could have gone to anybody. But he went to Arjun because Arjun had a relationship with that person in a way, indirectly through other places and all that. And Krishna knew that he had a mentor who would listen and argue with him. It was not a one-sided relationship at all. So when you have these big challenges, you have to have the ability to bring Krishna to your table. And for that, you need to have the relationships and networks that need to happen. So with this 4-piece advice that I'm going to share with you today, is that this is a great opportunity. J4E and Vishal and all of you have done an amazing job of bringing mentors to each other. So absolutely take advantage of that. The fact that you are all networked gives you access to people that you didn't have. Today, you had the commissioner show up. Well, he wouldn't have just come like that, right? So now he knows J4E. Next time somebody needs to go to him, you have a way to get to him. You have been doing networking and all of these kinds of things, which are very useful for every one of you. So I just wanted to share that mentor-mentee relationship is a two-way relationship. Vishal has called me a mentor, but I treat him as a mentee because I also learn from every meeting that I get to. So when I meet new entrepreneurs, I always learn new things. So that's the only way one can mentor. So every mentor-mentee relationship should be a two-way relationship. And in this context, I want to mention that we have lunch or dinner, waiting for us. So I'm going to stop here and I want to thank you all for inviting me here. It's a pleasure and I wish all the entrepreneurs here all the very best. Thank you very much.
Just a minute, sir. One last thing to do. To felicitate Dr. Anand Deshpande, our chief guest for today, I request Vinay sir and Vishal sir to please come upon the stage. जोरदार तालियां हो जाए उनके लिए भी. आणि एक खरं गोष्ट मला बोलायची इच्छा होते की शब्दांची जादू आणि किती छान पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह मांडला सरांनी. एकदा जोरदार टाळ्या फॉर आनंद देशपांडे सर. एंड एक पोर्ट्रेट यहाँ पर सर आपके लिए यहाँ पर सुरुचि श्रीवास्तव मैम ने बनाया है. सो दिस इज फॉर यू. अ बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज. आई रिक्वेस्ट हर टू प्लीज प्रेजेंट इट टू यू. और हम भी देखना चाहते हैं इस पोर्ट्रेट को, हम सभी. And such a fantastic piece of artwork, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause. जोरदार तालियां. क्या बात है. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. And now, okay, so सरांसाठी एक अजून उपहार आहे. वन मोर गिफ्ट. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. And this is a handmade thing.
These are handmade soaps that I have made. These are chemical